Hey everyone, welcome to a special season preview. We're going to review everyone's rosters and just what we think. We got the itch to talk hockey. Corey with me as always. Thanks for joining me, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Just had that itch, right? We want to talk some hockey, and it's still too early for week one preview. So we're talking
I
about
don't
the
know.
trades that have already happened.
Yeah, I don't know if it's too early or if we let the trades build up anymore. We'll have to do like a two-part show. Like
Yeah, there's been a
it's
lot,
not
a lot
hasn't
of
been a
activity.
yeah hasn't been a disappointing start in that sense.
To be honest, you were disappointed at first. I remember you calling everyone out. We're like 4 days, guys, and no trades, and now,
That's what I like to see. You get training camp going, right? Everyone wanted to see where people were at health wise too. So
um, before we get into all that fun stuff, I would like to thank everyone for paying their fee. So the whole
Woo.
league has paid up, and we're not even October yet. So I really appreciate that, guys. Um, look forward to a great season. As your champion, I am back to defend the honor of this league. And yeah, for those who haven't seen it or don't remember, here's the new shirt. So it'll be a fun season, I think.
It's gonna be a long season.
At least I have fun with it. Like, you know,
I know. I'm playing.
I'm not some guy who wins a championship and makes a message here or there. Doesn't even want the trophy. That's fucking embarrassing. Speaking of
Uh,
which, for those who don't remember what it looks like, one
yeah,
day maybe you'll have your name on here, boys.
I
I dominate this side. I got Mark
do.
in
I
here.
do. I had you up my.
You have
You
yours
got
on
Mark.
there already.
Yeah. You got a Mark sandwich. Is that what you said?
And now, yeah, Mark's
Yeah.
sandwiched in between my championship years.
Use your meat.
If only I could have three-peat. Oh well. We're gonna have fun this season, I think. The league's very active. I'm been in communication actually with everyone, right? Even the people who aren't really around you typically are actually answering. Everything seems to be going well so far. Let's keep that enthusiasm season strong here. Like,
No, I agree. It's been
let
nice. It was a slow start for me, just as things kind of got going, but you'll see I've been a few of these, so
That's it. I've no, I've had a lot of trade talks. Haven't pulled the trigger on any. Um, just too far apart in pieces. Like, but let's talk about some trades. This first trade, I love this first trade. Um, Corey calling us out of being too quiet 4 days in and no trades. No, we can't have that.
yeah.
Him and Travis connected for a doozy here, a league changer. Tell me about this one, Corey. Why don't you tell me about this one? 18th for
Yeah, he
18th.
he sent me. I was gonna actually send him a trade for like two of our 18th picks, like from the draft, and then he sent me this, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I do think he'll fall lower in the standings than me, so this is a good trade for me. So I'll get to pick a few picks earlier. I'm sure that at least from this one. So, but I got the first one out of the way, and then the ball started rolling. So
Yeah, you had to dip your toe in at first. People are, oh,
yeah,
I want some of that action. Really, an
yeah,
18th for an 18th, it means nothing.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
do you still have that pick at the end of the year? You don't care whose 18th it is. You just know you
Yeah,
drafted the
you know
last
it's an
one.
18th. Yep, exactly.
And some real trades started here. Travis been pretty active as expected. This guy's never happy with his team. So show me no Mercer here traded Shane Pinto in his 17th to Captain Kachuk here for a 14th rounder. What do you think of this?
Yeah, it's a nothing trade. Like 14th to 18th, really. Not
Yeah.
much to say here. Pinto, he's out. You'll see he's moved on anyways. So uh, it's a
Yeah.
nothing trade, and there's no reason for it at this point in the year for that kind of trade.
It's because he's a senator.
It's true, but he's not even on his team anymore.
He's
So
not even signed. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't really think anything of the trade.
the next
It's
one
just
though.
Domo doing Domo. I really like the next one actually.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch trading Seth Jarvis and a 7th rounder to Dan here. So fetch me a drink for Sidney Crosby and a 13th. Why don't you tell me what you think about this one?
I think Domo won this trade. I mean, Crosby went third overall. I think it's more so Dan not knowing who to pick because Levi was off the board now. Um, so he might have went a little bit earlier, but he's been solid. Like he hasn't really slowed down, right? So and only paying a 7th round this early in the season. Jarvis is his throwaway player, so it's a nothing. I think that was great for Domo.
I think it was a steal for Domo.
Yeah.
Not that I think Crosby's worth a 6, but you're getting a top quality, a guy who improves his keeper base. And I think Pittsburgh's gonna be a little better this year with Carlson playing that power play too. Um, so
Fantasy wise, at least.
that just ups his value, right? So I think a 7th is a fair price for him, but I think this was a great move for Domo, who seriously needed an upgrade on his roster.
Yeah, like if I knew Crosby was going for a 7th, I would have been in. Like,
Yeah,
like if I have 4 center only, so I mean, there's factors to that, but typically I'd be in for that price. Like,
that's a
but
fair.
you know what? The thing is, Dan can't make any trades right now because everything he drafted was within the 9th round, so he doesn't want to just drop anybody because there's value in everybody, right? So you got to start moving some players to get those ad drop spots a little bit, right? So they're moving him early to get that spot. He might be able to flip a few other players to make up for it. So you
We'll
never
see what
know.
he does with it. Like, I think it was a great move for Domo.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Take advantage, like you said, of a GM who had an issue. That
Yep.
issue was he has too many like top picks,
Got
so
him.
he needs to move someone.
Yep.
Jesper Bratt and an 18th going to forgot about Dre here. Jonathan Dre and a 9th going to Daltrey. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, like Nick called it out on himself, saying that like Brat was drafted in the 11th round, and he paid a 9th for an 18th. That's a large pick difference. That could be
Yeah.
like 2 trades worth of picks, really. For Brat and Duran coming back, he's all right too. He's not a nobody. I think Daltrey did well in this one, but if Nick got the player he wanted, a 9th isn't the worst pick to give up either.
I don't think I think it was good for both teams really. Like I don't know what Daltrey's doing. Um he says, at the draft that his team is better than mine and then start selling everything. That's not nailed down.
So now we
But
all have an excuse if it's not.
yeah.
Oh, I'm a
Jeff
seller. Of course, I'm going to be worse than you. But like, he
yeah.
hasn't been playoff relevant in a while.
I mean, he could have been in the finals against Mark, but he didn't start his goalie.
That's true. That is true.
So people do know, because we need this on tape here. Daltrey and I did make a bet at the draft while we were drunk, because I took offense to his team being better than mine already. This is like one of the best drafts I've ever done. uh, so we bet
Yeah,
we bet a 6 pack, which we always we always seem to settle on a 6 pack, and we always end up sharing it anyway. But there's a little pride on the line here. Whose team will finish higher in the standings? But trade away Jesper Bratt for a 9th, I don't think that's going to help him. But he might be able to. He's going to move those picks later on. Drouin has some upside playing in Colorado this year.
yeah.
Who knows what role he'll finish with there?
He could pick it
But
up, right? So
he gave away the better player. Has a guy with some potential and a better pick. I think the both teams came away with something good here. So,
I agree.
Sosi Pass involved in another one here. This time hooking up with Who's Your Daddy. I love just the way it says this here. Who's your daddy? Shane.
Every time.
But you received Matthew Nyes at a 15th for Jordan Eberle and a 17th. Tell me about this.
Yeah, he wanted Everlay, so I said, give me a pick upgrade. Everlay, I drafted him in the 18th round, so to get a 15th for him. I dropped Nyes and picked up the Tampa goalie for the right after this anyways. So yeah,
Yeah,
I got my pick upgrade. I was happy.
he needed that right wing, right? He said in the chat, like, I need a right wing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the trade worked out for both of you. Matthew Nyes, like you said, he was just a throw-in player.
Yep.
If anyone wants him, he's out there. Go grab him. He had a shorthanded goal tonight. Again, Sauce pass. Still making moves. Aiden Hill and a 15th for Doughty and a ninth going Daltrey's way. Tell me about this one.
And a seventh, not a ninth.
But seventh, sorry.
Yep.
Apologies.
No, I got a starting goalie right in Hill who just won a cup, 2 season deal, and I only paid a seventh for him. I gave up Doughty, but he was the one D man I was actually kind of willing to give up. I think I got value out of him because Daltrey wanted him, so it worked out. Uh, I got my goalie situation fixed before the season started. I got my 3 goalies now, and I'm pretty fucking excited because it took me right to the end of the season last year to get that.
I like this move for you. To me, if it was Daltrey, like he has questions and that's I would have held on to him.
I agree. Like I didn't. I
Um,
was surprised he was willing to move him.
he got a good pick, like a seventh
Yeah,
is good. Doughty's a good player. He puts up a lot of different stats. His issue though, like, he's been a little injury prone of late. Um,
slowing down a bit.
he's slowing down. He's getting older, right? But LA is going to be a good team, so it's not bad for him. But I think Hill's the best player in the deal. I think you got a really good deal on Vegas' starting goalie. So
Yep, his job to
here,
lose.
you hear that, Nick? Vegas' starting goalie. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Lotto Max HQ here receiving Josh Anderson, making a deal with Derek here, the Red Wings again, to receive Lucas Raymond, a Red Wing. Tell me about this.
Not much to say. No picks involved, which is odd for our league. But two not depth players. Not much to really say on it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
just
anyone won or lost really. Just a switch.
they got what they wanted out of it.
Yeah.
The last move of the day here, uh, we have Pinto and a 13th going your way. Well, Captain Crunch here, getting Johansson and a 16th. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, Johansson getting the all the ads in fantasy hockey because Vaz is out for 2 months, 2.5 months for surgery, right? Um, so getting some value out of him now that I got Hill, I don't need a fourth goalie. Um, unsure because like there's just talk about them signing somebody once they can put Vaz on the IR. So signing somebody to be the starter, right? So you get a 3 round pick out of it. I was pretty happy to be honest. I dropped Pinto. He was just a throwaway. But he paid 3 rounds for him Pinto earlier in the season.
Yeah, and then
And season hadn't even
gave
started
him.
yet, and now he's gone for a
I
goalie
just
who could
I
be
just
in the
don't think that
AHL.
guy's gonna play. I don't think he's gonna play.
I think he'll get some chances. I heard that they really like him.
Yeah, but they're
I
gonna
was reading to him.
for 2 months. I've been reading the rumors the last couple of days, and they're talking about going after either
Elliot.
Halak, who's a free agent, or Elliott, bringing him back. Elliott
Yeah,
would be comfortable for the team. They're used to playing in front of him.
yeah, exactly. He did well enough too for them. Like,
Yeah, he might be the backup, this kid, but he's not going to be the starter. And then for him to just kind of go and move Melka out of all his goalies.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess let's talk about that. Captain Crunch receiving Arturi Lekkonen and a seventh rounder. Travis receiving Melka and an 11th.
yeah. It's kind of surprising that like he obviously had to move somebody. He went to 5 goalies, but he has a tandem of Arizona and San Jose. Right, San Jose, there's no clear indicator on who's going to be the starter, in my opinion. Right now, it's a 50-50. Veg is the one that you know is going to get the most starts, in my opinion, of all 4 of those or 5 of those goalies at that point, and that's the one moving. A seventh is a solid return, but only
Yeah.
11th back too. Like that's not a big gap either. Like, and Lekkonen's not a bad player though. Like
No,
I'll say that. But Veg
I think
also
that's the
hasn't been
goalie
the
you should have held
greatest.
on.
Yeah, yeah, that's my opinion too. But the San Jose duo, I see more upside in Arizona than San Jose at this point. Like, like in how they're going to do this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
So
agree. As a
I
Yotes
don't
fan, I
think
agree.
Dombo. I don't think Dombo made the right trade here.
I think good job for Travis.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
that's a good price for Veg. He's gonna play a lot for you. I don't. I'm not saying, hey, I didn't try and inquire about Veg because I did, but I don't think
Yep.
that's the goalie that he should have traded. If I was him, like that's the goalie I would have held on to out of all his goalies. I inquired. I didn't want to pay a huge pick upgrade. I'm just no.
Seventh isn't bad.
I just kick the tires. I just want to make those trade talks.
Yeah, it depends. Like these trades we're talking about, like it depends what they can turn that pick into, right? Like
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
sevens get some decent haul too. So just to see where it goes.
that's it. You always want the best return, right?
Yeah.
So you want to see some added players, eh? You want to review some of those, the
Yeah,
ads?
I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of go through and see like the trends too, right? Like I was pretty happy with my guy I get picked up today. Like you see Landeskog got picked up and dropped again. Obviously, it's pretty early to be committed to that IR spot, in my opinion.
Well, let's take a look through here. See if there's anything that on
I got
this like
Klingberg on the waivers, and he's gonna be like top power play, like big minutes in Toronto. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of Klingberg to be honest because
either.
he just points.
I got to see how he does in the team, right? Like he was falling down the ladder in Dallas's system, so maybe with more ice time and he'll get his groove back because he went through phases where he'd be really strong in the depth categories and then he'd go completely dry with like barely anything. So
He just doesn't do it enough for me.
yeah,
But it's a good move. Like he's gonna get a lot of ice time, like you said. He's gonna get
yeah,
some points. All defensemen throw up some blocks at some point, like usually. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that's a good one. I like this one here, Captain Crunch, Barrett Hayden, the
I
third
like
piece of
Hayden too.
that line. Like
Yeah,
now
I agree. I think he'll do well.
Keller's gonna light it up, so you want to piggyback off those points
Yeah,
for depth, right? Velarde, I like that one too by Captain Crunch.
he's injured now though, but I think he got dropped already.
Uh,
I like Byfield. He's due like he needs to break out. He's the big body. Like once he starts going, I think he'll do well.
that's it. He's just got to get that time, right? So
Yeah.
Couturier, it's all right.
Yeah, like
Who knows? I grabbed
that's
Pacioretty. I
ready.
thought it was a good stash. Like
If you have the room, right?
that's it. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
He's not hurting me by having him on my IR, right?
I
So
didn't realize Lekanen was undrafted.
yeah, he was undrafted.
Yeah. Well,
Landeskog was just picked up for fun. I like Benoit. Benoit's a decent pickup.
yeah.
Tarasov could be fighting for that starting role this year, so who knows? That might be a good pickup here.
It's not Merz's net for
Forsberg.
sure.
I don't like Olofsson. He's just one of those guys that I just don't like. But
He's points have been doing well. Like he really did well last year, but he's very one dimensional.
that's it. Zaka, I like Zaka. I have him other league there for a bit. He was good.
Yeah.
Cernak is pretty decent defenseman. I don't like this Frank Goose pickup because they're saying Frank Goose is probably out for the year.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it.
So I was curious. I think he might just be stashing him for now. And he picked up a Noonan as well. So
I thought that.
Burakowski, Ferraro historically has some good grind.
Yeah.
Jones, I don't even think he's like the third man in there. I don't know if he's gonna be around.
I don't see him going to the AHL, so he'll probably be back up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you're gonna send Wall down if anything. Like,
Yeah.
uh, no, they might just cut him. He just might
Yeah,
not be good enough
true.
to make the team.
Yeah.
Ehlers, Marchenko, I like that. I like Marchenko. Just he's one dimensional. He doesn't even get
Well,
a
it's,
six.
I know. Well, 25 goals, 4 assists. Like it's
Yeah,
insane. I want to see. I'm excited to see how they do. Right with Pantelli or whatever his name is. Never remember how to pronounce it.
Fantilli.
Pantelli. Um, and Goudreau, right? And Line A if he's healthy. Let's see, like Marchenko.
They're
So
gonna have a good team. Columbus has a great farm system. I'm saying that for a while, but they have not performed like it.
yeah, yeah, no, it hasn't been good. All right.
And this will be the fun part. We're not gonna run through everything on everyone's team. We'll just let's talk about some key things that key parts that we like about it, stuff that we might not. You know, we
Yep.
don't want to spend 10 minutes on everyone's team. We want to take a couple minutes and just review.
All right. Who are we going with first here? You?
Well, I'm in the first section here, so let's go over Team Ramrod. Obviously, we know who my keepers were. Um, we could now. I'm not. You guys should know who my keepers are by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Talk
Notable
about it.
draft picks for me, I
Yeah.
thought was my defense.
Yeah. He went
All
very gritty, like normal.
that's it, like
Yeah.
normal.
If it's been working, like why not, right?
That's it.
I feel like you did really well with the draft picks you had. Like you Tippett and Line in the 13th round. Like Tippett is to me a solid. Hurdle even in the 14th round. Kane in the 15th round. Unknown where he's going, but still like there's a lot of upside for that 15th round pick. Like I was eyeing him and I'm like, fuck. Kane got him right before I could. I was like, shit. Like I thought he was gonna go under the radar, but no, I feel like you did really well for the draft picks you had. Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of went under the radar with Cooley earlier than I think expected, but you
I
got to take
jumped the
some
gun
risk,
on
right?
him, but I had high expectations of him as a Coyotes fan, and if he lives up
Yeah.
to those, he might join my keeper core. So, you know,
That one goal was nasty.
oh yeah, I've been reading the hype on him like since before that draft, right? So
Yeah,
to me, it's just like I wanted to take that risk. It was worth drafting earlier than I probably should have for him, um, because who knows, he might replace one of my goalies. Like,
yeah, like Luke Shen for you in the 10th round, like that's early. Like he was, I'm pretty sure he was waiver wire last year, like pretty all year. Like I think he was kind of on rosters a little bit, but he would get dropped
so
those Sundays.
he used to be a waiver wire guy in our league, but not the last like year and a half
No,
because he just grinds so hard.
yeah,
He puts up
I
like
know.
3 hits a
Yeah,
game. So to
yeah,
me, like that
300
was
game team
important,
hit.
right?
Yeah, in Nashville, we'll see how he does, right?
I just want my grind, right? My team's gonna score goals. My priority in drafting was grind. So I was able to pick up some good forwards to fill out my roster. So I'm happy
Yeah,
with my team. I think Hoffer as my last pick in the draft was a steal. I think he's taken that job,
I,
and
there's a good look that he does because he performed last year when he had the chance,
yeah,
and we all know Bennington did not.
and
So
we know his history. The last couple of years, Binnington's been on the decline. So um, I'm hoping that's a steal and solidifies my goaltending here.
yeah,
Let's talk about Show No Mercer here. So, for those who don't know, this is Travis's team name of the week. Uh, so he kept guys like Tage Thompson, JT Miller, Timo
Meyer,
Meyer, and then two
Demko, and
goalies,
Skinner.
Demko. Yeah,
Yeah,
which
he
was his
only
draft.
started in the 9th round. Uh, I'm not particularly a big fan of a whole lot. I feel like he got Forsberg in the 9th round. That was a pretty good pickup. Uh, and then he went for a lot of grit. Mercer in the 10th round, like New Jersey, like I think that has a lot of upside. Barzell in the 10th round, like now that he's not a center only, there's some value there. He's center right wing. Hopefully he picks it up, but he's been really slow with his career. Right, I'm not too impressed with your draft, Travis. I don't.
To be honest, he wasn't too
There's
impressed with it either.
yeah, you have some really good defense that put up the grit though, but yeah, I
He
think you
was
could have
not
did better.
happy. He told me after when he was drafting, he's there at a wedding drafting,
Oh,
like
that's
a
tough.
reception or whatever. He's drafting. He's like a couple times there when I picked my defenseman, he was just swearing because he was getting ready to pick those guys. So I
And then
grabbed
you're
at least two from
struggling. It's gonna happen.
yeah, he went with some familiar names, right? He had Kuzmenko all last year. You know,
You did well too.
Barzell's been in and out of his team for years. So
That's true.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from him. I expect his team's gonna get better. I don't think it's terrible,
Nope.
but I don't necessarily. I would have made different picks. He already dropped a few guys too, right? So
Yeah.
He
And he
made
has bench
some
now.
moves.
He picked up a third goalie, so like his goalie situation's better. Demko's not going to be a bum for the year now.
That's it. So we'll see what the season has in store for him. Um, yeah, I'd
All
be
right, we got
curious. I'd be curious too. Like while I'm thinking about this for the season premiere show, if anyone wants to send in some power rankings, it's fun to do at the start of the season. Like let's see where everyone thinks people are landing based on the roster they see, right? Like
send it to change.
send it to me. Whatever. If you want to, right? Like it'll just be fun to see. Because there's a bunch of teams that are in the middle, right? And like I don't know, some could easily shift up down. Um, our league's a little tiered in some ways, right? Some have just better keepers than others, but it's just an advantage. But there's still really good teams all around. There's maybe one or two that are I don't know, I don't care for. But speaking of teams I don't care for, Crease Crichton Crease Crashers here. Um, everyone knows his keepers, I think. Zibanejad.
Ovechkin, McCann, Hellebuck, and
Yeah,
Gustafson.
I don't like that McCann keep, to be
I
honest.
agree, but he really lit it up scoring wise last year. Like he did really well. So if he can keep it going, like there's value there on a team
It's
that
not that I don't like McCann, it's that you gave back Kreider.
I yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kreider, you had the double stack with Zibanejad. Like when they were scoring, like
But
it's a
he
lot of
made the
points.
choice to keep Gustafson over Fleury, so he dropped Fleury now.
I like that one
Yeah, I
because I
agree. I
think
think it
that's
was
the better
time.
choice in our league.
Yeah, he went with Alex Tuck as a sixth round pick, and then didn't draft until the 11th after. He went pretty all in with picks last year, which is kind of unlike Sean. But and
Yeah.
then he's got some solid players. He got some good defense like Theodore and Byram
I
for
feel
drafting later. Theodore had a great year for me last year. To get him in the 12th thing is a good pick. I don't know if I like Tuck as the sixth round pick. He's
that
so
actually
in and
puts up a
out,
lot of stuff.
but he's hurt a lot. That's my only thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Yeah,
like
I,
Barbashev. That's a good pick.
yeah. But
Kraus, I like Kraus.
he had two picks in the last like four rounds in every round, so you're not going
I
to
like
have the greatest draft.
Sandine. He picked Sandine before I was going to pick him. That was a good
Oh yeah,
pick. Yeah. Marchment's a good pick. I like him too.
Duchesne
He's
in
got
Dallas. I'm curious to see how he does.
that could be a high reward pick right there.
16th round, yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what Sean does. As always, I have an investment in his failure. Um, but yeah, I just I would have kept Kreider. No, not that McCann's bad.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's the right choice. Who's your daddy? So this guy had what? Hughes, Hintz, Robertson. Who else did he keep?
Zegras and Wallstead,
Zegers and Wallstead. Some
the
interesting
Minnesota goalies.
choices.
Yeah, I don't think
What
we're
do you think?
surprised with any of the forwards, right? Like
No, they're good.
we knew they were all getting picked regardless, but Wallstead was the one where I wasn't sure of. The second overall pick, he went with Levi in
I think that's a
Buffalo.
great pick.
Yeah,
Great
I
pick.
agree. And then he got Luukkonen in the 13th round, which I thought was pretty late. I really thought he was going to go earlier. I like his Truba pick in the seventh. DeBrincat in Detroit, I think we'll get a lot of big minutes there. Even Goudreau in the ninth, like
Yeah.
Seth Jones in the 12th, Kopitar in the 13th round, uh, Suzuki in the 13th round, Hartman in the 13th. Like I feel like he had a good draft. I like the shape of his team.
I
Just the
like his
goalies. Just
team.
the
I just don't
goalies.
like his goalies
Yeah.
yet. If he
Yeah.
holds on to
There's still
those two,
plenty
he's
of
going to
time.
have the best goalie combo in a few years, if they pan out like the way they're supposed to.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and Buffalo's expected to be just coming out tearing soon, right? Like they really aren't going to be surprised when they're leading the rankings. So
Yeah, they just need a little bit more on the defensive end. They're scoring fine, right?
yeah,
They're gonna be tearing it up soon. I like the picks you said. Truba, of course. Gaudreau at that pick was good. Levi at 2 was good because I know people were targeting him, right? A lot of people were thinking that So good draft for Casey. Unfortunately for him, he has to take on Team Ramrod week 1. So I'm gonna have to put him down early. And oh, don't get too discouraged, buddy. Don't get too discouraged.
Oh, trash talk starting. Let's go.
That's it. All right, here. So
What do we got
we're
next?
gonna stop part 1 here.
Sounds good.